What's going on, guys? My name is Matt Omega, and welcome back to Let's Play Submachine 10, The Exit. In the last episode, we started looking around in a bunch of places, trying to eventually find our way out of all this mess for good, and we've come across some odd locations on the way as well, so best thing for us to do now is to keep exploring and see what else we can find. So we're here in some kind of, what looks like somewhere where some people were doing a bit of research. And well, maybe we can find out exactly what that research was after we clean up their fucking mess. I've had enough of that. I live in a dorm with like a few other people and they don't know how to clean. It's a sad life for Matt Omega. Anyway, this is kind of interesting here because turn on this light. All of these what could be molecules or something, they come together. So maybe they were researching something to do with well, it's blue, so blue we can often attribute to some kind of karma energy, so maybe they're researching something to do with that. Maybe to bring things back together. I don't know. Okay, go through here. Down the hole. This fucking chair! It keeps popping up! Another of these things. Maybe we'll need to keep track of where exactly those are. Oh, we have here another vector finder, so hold on to that. Right, we can look at something up close here. Nothing else for us in this room though, so let's head back on out. Nothing much for us over here, so go down these stairs. We have another door, where we have a few other places for us to explore. This is where we're going to be putting all these vector finders, and if we find all of them, looks like we're going to be able to activate another portal. Wonder where this one will take us. Dear Murtaugh, that's great news. Please remember one thing. Submachine didn't wait for this discovery. It moved on and is healing itself as any normal organism would. Did you see the power generator in the oldest sections of the route? The one destroyed by your portal a long time ago. Now it's being rebuilt by 5 karmic veins. If you haven't seen it, please do. It's remarkable proof that Submachine became a sentient being. Submachine is sentient. It's an organism all of its own. Which kind of explains how it was able to act the way it did, just like suddenly expand upon itself. And like, to be fair, it was kind of expanding before the before it developed the outer rim, because I believe I mentioned it at one point before, but some submachines existed well before humans started making them themselves. Like the Root was the first submachine made by humans, but it wasn't the first submachine that ever existed. I also mentioned that some submachines were just happened to come into being, while others were brought into the subnets by some means. Like the lighthouse is now a submachine. The basement was not built by humans. So that kind of gives a bit more leverage to the point that Submachine can make its own, well, submachines if it's sentient, and it would explain how it was able to create so many that it expand out exponentially. Maybe that's also something to do with how it tried to copy layers in on top of itself like the plan. Anyway, this here is really interesting. We saw something a little earlier on about how the molecules are being brought together by this little blue light. Turn this on. And it's like, we have this little piece of rubble exposed to that blue light, and it's come together. Not just come together, but it looks like it's completely fixed. So maybe what's going on here is some research into fixing what was broken? If that's possible, then that'd be incredible for somewhere like the South Garden, although I think it was one of the secret messages at the end of Submachine 9 that said that couldn't happen? I don't know, but if it can happen in other places where things have been damaged, that'd be great. Anyway, let's move on to the next area. Whoa. Alrighty then. Let's see what this place has to offer for us. We're blocked off by lasers. And down here. Alright, it looks like a system to control the lasers, but in trying to deactivate others, we lock ourselves in, so we're gonna have to find a way around all that. Luckily, there's another way over to this side. Climb all the way up and around. Head in here. Shiva. No permission to access. Shiva is the name of the supercomputer. The one that exceeded the processing power of the human brain. Now, this isn't the actual supercomputer itself. This is an access point. But, yeah. So, whether or not all the mentions of Shiva up till now were referring to the Hindu god or to this supercomputer, we'll have to find that out. We've got a plasma charge picked up just over here, but there's nothing real else we can do here for the moment, so we're gonna need to keep on exploring somewhere else. I should also mention that this game is huge. I'll tell you now, at most, a game has taken me about 2 episodes to complete so far. This one will take me at least 3. It's that big. Anyway, another area now, and... You know, we saw something like this back in, I don't know what to call these areas. We saw one of these earlier back in the 1-2 combination. Just over here we just saw another note. If there is a countless number of sublayers, it's practically impossible for 2 people to end up in the same layer, right? Yes, good observation. But the non-living matter can be persistent between layers. Yes, there are special building materials mixed with just a hint of karmic water. This technique was discovered during the 4th dynasty. Naturally, the architects of the plan. So you can imagine how a non-living, sentient organism powered by the superintelligence of Shiva was able to embrace all layers at once. The submachine is now living in 5 dimensions. This explains how some architectural structures are able to exist as they are in more than one layer. The building materials are mixed with karmic water. This was the case back in the South Garden, because there was a little pamphlet claiming that its architect, Henry O'Toole, used that method to build the place. So that gives more grounds to what I theorized last time, that the Winter Palace may also exist on all layers, like just as it is as well, just like the temple does. Right here. Insufficient data. Clearly, it's missing something. Okay, just over here, we have the last vector finder. So we'll need to go back at some point, put that in, and see where the portal takes us. We have this ladder piston here, which we can take up. We have another picture of a rune. Maybe those will be used for something a little later. And we have another portal, which takes us to Sector 9. The first layer of Sector 9 to be precise. Well, this is where this ladder rung goes. Looks like we'll need another light sphere to actually get into the ship. There's not much we can do here, but I will take this coil. It's mine now. Right, moving onward. Well, there's one more combination we haven't tried yet. Ah, how serene. We have another ladder step over by the statue. Down here... I've seen a couple of these around. These look like some little robots or something. I wonder if these were possibly some kind of machines that like existed within the submachine to like do upkeep and stuff. Maybe as security drones or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of theorizing at that point, but we're seeing robots around the place, and submachine is very, very mechanical, so I wouldn't be too far off the ball, I don't think. Anyway, we got the last of the pictures of the hieroglyphs, so now we can finish the combination back in 001. This looks to be some kind of transmitter. We've got another one of these robots. I think they're actually properly referred to as subbots, perhaps? Maybe? I may be wrong. I don't know. We've got another one of these things. I've seen a few of them around. Alright, well, but with that, we've pretty much effectively explored every area for the first time, so now we need to figure out where we want to go now. Well, I guess to start with, I'll go back to 001, so I can input the proper combination of hieroglyphs. So, beads, well, it looks like a little foot, a teacup, and a squiggly line. That's fine. Squiggly line, little foot, beads. Go upstairs. Over here, we have a cogwheel. And... oh, wrong way. We can take this, I believe, downstairs here. Yes, here. Chuck that there. And if we spin that around, the ladder drops to a lower level. This means we can't go up anymore here, but we don't need to go up for anything else in this area. So, yeah, we're good. And we have access to another portal. And this one takes us to the root. Right? And we have ourselves another light sphere. Yeah, tub full of acid. No, it's not full of acid. But it's got another little cogwheel for us. Can actually move these out of the way this time. Pull this. We have a ladder. Another karma portal over here. There's resin everywhere. Still the most satisfying thing in video games. Don't worry, this actually has a purpose this time. Later. Do you know how many numbers there are between 0 and 1? Infinite? Exactly. There is a countless number of sublayers between any two main layers of reality. The important thing to remember is that as there are 7 main layers, all stable, as all their sublayers, there's also the 8th layer, known as the layer of light, which is not stable, and it can float freely through all other layers. Murtaugh was trapped in the 8th layer once, that's why he was unable to focus his being on a single layer. Fortunately, Elizabeth managed to snap him out of the trap. So Murtaugh did somehow manage to find himself in the 8th layer, that's how he was able to see all 7 layers of his arm all at once. If the 8th layer flows through all the other layers. So, there's that. It also explains the whole rapture incident, that once he started focusing on a single layer again, he somehow disappeared to everyone else. Alright, but we're done here. But now we have more means to explore in, back in Sector 9. First things first, I'll put this cogwheel here to start this up. Now, if I were going in order, I could go back to that other little research lab to put this in, but I want to go back to Sector 9 first. Which combination was it? Oh yeah, it was this one. I remember stuffs. I think. Yep, I was right. Oh, here we can put this ladder step there. Chuck this light sphere in there, so we can go back into the ship, because we don't have a navigator anymore. So we can't just switch to another layer and get in the old-fashioned way. Open this up. We have an insulator cap. And another cogwheel. That's everything else we can do here for the moment. So, where do I want to go now? The vector finder I can take back to the research lab. But this will allow me to explore a little more near the access point to Shiva. So, where do I want to go first? We actually have to return to this place a lot, so I think I'll go to the Shiva access point first. And with this insulator cap, we can put this on here so that we will never be blocked out. Spin that so we tear this down. And in here, we're back in the Winter Palace. Let's see what's here for us. Not much, this place is still a mess. Anyway, I want to pick up this telescope tube. Oh, this is broken! God damn it. Actually, I'll start. Put that in there, and that as well, just for the time being. Pick up a stone grape. We also get a skull. We just picked up a skull. How morbid. Nothing there. Nothing in there. We have another note. I'll come back to the shrine every 32 years. I promise anyone who still listens to this frequency. There's 32 again. 32 is just the most important number in Submachine. 32 chambers filled with sand. 32 years spent mapping out the outer rim. Turning to the shrine every 32 years. 32 something else. This looks exactly like what we saw back in that other area. Maybe those correlate somehow. I'm missing something. Yeah, this. Where was it? Here we are. So we put this telescope head on here and the telescope tube. Look through there, which is, you know, normal thing from looking through these telescopes, but it gives us a secret. We finally get our second one. We're only just now getting our second one. Can you guys comprehend how big this game can get now? Anyway, we're done here for the time being, so we'll head on back. Now, can't use this properly yet, so I'll hold on to that. I guess now I'll go back to the research lab. There's a couple things we can do here now. One of them is, of course, putting this last vector finder in. But if we go... This isn't the right way. I think it's back this... No, this... I'm going completely the wrong way. Where I'm supposed to go is, this door. Yeah, this one. Back down the hallway. We can actually put the skull on here, take a closer look, get ourselves an explorer's chip. So maybe this will give us access to the lab. We're back out of there, and we'll finally use this last vector finder we have. Which, when we do so, will take us to the edge. We're back in the edge! Yay! The happiest place on Earth. This is what I imagine Disneyland looking like. Alright. So, we got another room. We got 3 of these things now. Now, we can actually take both of these grates off. Let's try this one first. Oh. Alright. Looks like this took 3 plasma charges, but we can't take these out, so we'll just have to stick with the one we have. Blockade Removal tool. This way we get our second plasma charge. And another one of these things. We found 4 of them so far, so gotta be for something. Alright. Yep. And we get a 3rd plasma charge, which we'll be able to use soon. We can't spin this just yet. And this is what this is for. This actually kind of tripped me up because I didn't know what the hell this was for, and I didn't realize that this actually fit in these 3 holes here. To take off this blockade and allow us to spin this room around. And these 2 lights represent the entry points, so we can only go there and there. Upward is another wheel. Downward is another ladder step. This is the last one we need to fully explore the rest of the ship dock in Sector 9. Go downward. We have here a karma vial. And a hatch valve. So that's no wheel in there for us to get out, so I'll have to go the long way. Back up in here. Switch this around. Alright. So we're done in those tunnels for the time being. But these here, these weren't there before. Chuck this hatch valve there. Open them up. Another bot. Now we have somewhere to put these plasma charges. Take that off. Here. Shiva, emergency evacuation protocol. Alright, so this might do something by the Shiva access point. S3C. Ah, where have we seen that before? Anyway. So, where do I want to go now? Well, what do we have on hand? Could take this back to the lab, but I won't do that just yet. I can find the other one of these now, and put this to use at the same time. Yeah. So I think what I'll do is... Actually, no. I'll go back here first. So I can use this last ladder step. There we go. Alright. Get ourselves another light sphere. And another note. Light crown converter needed to connect light crown to the fuse outlet. Alright. Maybe that'll make sense later. Layer 3. This isn't layer 3. This is layer 1. The ship dock only exists in Sector 9 on layer 1. Or maybe it's just looking at layer 3. I don't know. Anyway, we have a root pathfinder. Which guess where we use it. Yeah, now... Actually, this works because that gives me enough reason to go back here. Use this cog. And also head down this way to use this Karma Vibe. Now if we press a light here, what's in here will freeze. There's one thing in here we can collect, which is our second stone grape. Which, actually before I do anything else, I will quickly take back to this area. So we have 2 of these now, put them both in. And does a thing, which might correlate with the same head we found in the research lab. So yeah, we'll have to go back there later. But for now, I'm gonna go back to the roots and use the root pathfinder. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when the little spinny thing actually has meaning this time. We can actually use something on it. Which gives us a ladder through the resin. Gives us it. I should have waited to take the stone grapes back. God damn! Alrighty. Real quick before I end things up for this episode, I guess I'll take this data tape back to this area, because this clearly enough fits in where these other things were here. And I'll also go back to the Winter Palace, because that seems to have correlated somehow. So back to the Shiva access point. Back into the Winter Palace. And I believe it was this one? No, next one. Yeah. Now that's open to give us a portal stabilizer. Which looks an awful lot like what we see on all the other portals everywhere. And as you recall, in the initial area, 000 on the binary portal, it was missing a couple of them. Yeah, these. So that's what they are. But also real quick, since we're here, back in the edge, we actually activated the emergency protocol for the Shiva access point. So now we can go down this way, down this chain. Nothing over here. We have ourselves another cogwheel, a large one, which we can actually use back in the 001. So area 3, as I've been kind of calling it. God damn. I'm trying to end off the episode, but I don't have a good place to. Anyway, we can't go down the ladder to get there regularly, but luckily we have these jackal heads. So we can go down this way and pick up a portal charge. Now, I think this is a good point at any to end things off, because now we just need to go back and find places where we can use some of this stuff. So next time on Let's Play Submachine 10 The Exit, we're gonna keep going with what's essentially cleanup mode at this point. Well, actually we're not at cleanup mode yet, we're just trying to figure out how to fully explore every area, and we'll finish up doing that next time. So as always guys, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time guys, my name is Matt Omega, and I'll see you guys later.